zone, the go mode, ready to take off. Other than that, squat racks are really nice. I miss that. The cable machines are great. Miss those every day. But yeah, that's it. I mean, other than the setting and a rack, gym's not that big of a deal. Can still be fit without it.
Have you been doing any resistance training?
Resistance training.
With some bands?
We
I
did
fixed
get
the
some
audio,
bands.
Pat. You're good. You're good to tap out here. All right.
Thanks,
I'm so
Pat.
sorry. This is throwing me off my interview game here. But okay. So I saw you guys. I know the people. I know who you stay with, who you live with, like your roommates and whatnot. Kevin is a good friend of Banana Beats. Sometimes likes to be in part of it. Sometimes likes to do his own thing, but it's all good. Him and Jenna were. I think you posted it on your story that you got them to do a little workout with you. It looked like you were doing P90X.
Yeah.
Have you done P90X before?
Yeah, I did. In 8th grade, my dad bought it. And we got the full DVD set. And there's like 10 DVDs. And it is... I mean, I haven't done many home workout programs like that, but it was by far the hardest I've ever done.
Yeah, I heard it's like the best. We had it. My dad bought it, and he had. I was doing it when I was little, but I never finished it. Never got into it. Where I was like, oh, I'm gonna start now.
Right.
Do it.
I don't think I did like that whole 90 days or whatever you're supposed to do, but the ab workout is great. It takes like 15 minutes. You can go on YouTube.
Killer.
Yeah, just YouTube ab ripper X. It's like a playlist. I don't know if I should be saying this because it's like kind of like pirated onto YouTube, but
that's YouTube's problem to figure out, not ours.
Yeah,
so.
It's free and it's 15 minutes and it gets you just as sore as you could possibly be from an ab workout.
Do you like with doing something like training abs? Are you finding yourself doing stuff like that? Because I know we were talking off air that like we're both running probably more than we've ever done.
Yeah.
During this time, do you find yourself doing things a lot more? Not necessarily just body weight, but exercises that we're focusing on areas that you might not have otherwise focused on.
Yeah.
Now that the gym's out of the question.
Yeah, a little bit. You said not just abs, but definitely abs. I'm doing it a lot more.
Yeah.
And then focusing on like flexibility a lot. I want to be able to. It sounds weird. I want to be able to do the splits one day. I think that's badass. If you're a dude and you could do the splits, like who the hell could do that?
That's what McKenna wants to be able to do, splits. I have no necessarily. I don't have necessarily a desire to do the splits, but I would like to be a little bit more flexible so that I don't get hurt when I'm playing sports or stuff like that, especially as we're getting older.
Be able to kick high.
Oh yeah,
kick
that would be cool. That'd be cool. Have you speaking of that, I know Pat was jokingly asking you about UFC and whatnot.
Yeah.
You've gotten in some scuffles at the house. Have you ever considered fighing?
I really want to
training for it or something like that.
Yeah, I really want to get into it. I want to get into kickboxing first. Some sort of just striking stuff, but I don't know. It's all cool. Honestly, if any martial arts instructor comes up to me and offers to go to their class, I'll probably say yes.
Yeah, I was really curious about that. I had because I had Coach T on a while back, and he does some boxing stuff for his weight loss. And
yeah,
I'm not necessarily trying to lose weight as a small guy, but I just love like the build that boxers have, where they're just shredded down the sides, and you get that from punching motions and stuff like that. So I'd really like to do something train in that sense, but like for me, Kenosha's just kind of too far, and now it's closed, so can't do it anyways.
Yeah, nothing's even possible right now.
Aside from fitness, though, what has been like the biggest challenge for you in this quarantine?
That's a good question.
Because for me, I think it's been that I've been like stuck in my own head a little bit too much. I've been thinking a little bit too much.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that.
And I'm not burnt. I'm not like doing as much shit. Like you work
the
out.
Boredom is rough.
You work out, and then it's like, all right, well, now I go back to playing video games.
Right, like
or
that's it.
Watch a movie.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way when I wake up. The only plan that I have for my day is working out, so it's like the whole day is built around that.
And I'm starting to think like maybe I gotta just do it more. Like maybe
exactly.
Like, should I be doing 3 days or what should I be doing? Because I don't know what to do with this time.
Seriously, it's tough.
And I was gonna say real quick before we continue, I had someone who's been following the show for a while, and I've actually had on the show talk to me and express his concern for me not socially distancing back when we posted some vlogs, like right when the quarantine happened, and I said in those vlogs that we filmed them prior to the quarantine.
Oh.
But apparently that part was skipped on their end. But so before you guys freak out that I've got Ty here in the studio, we measured this out beforehand. We're like just about over 6 feet away. It's like
feet.
Literally 6.5 feet away. So
it's precise.
I don't want to hear it, okay? And Ty here's been quarantining pretty seriously, and so have I. So none of that.
Lungs feel good.
My lungs feel great, dude. And
never better.
Exactly. I mean,
good air in here too.
It's clean. It's crisp. Yeah. It's a little warm because I was running around fixing stuff. But other than that, no, it's good. I wanted to kind of get your opinion on not only just because I know we're probably gonna be talking a lot about fitness just because you're in great shape. You're in really good shape.
Thanks, man.
Personally, yeah, not to be weird. Personally, myself, I'm as like someone who is a smaller guy who's been trying to gain muscle and has slowly been gaining muscle over however long. When was the turning point for you where like you actually started taking fitness more seriously?
I would say.
And why?
I would say that happened in like 5th grade, maybe 4th. Yeah, I know.
I was watching Rocky back then. I would go do some push-ups and run up the hill, but then I was like, yo, that's good.
It also happened one time when me and my mom were at a garage sale, and then I found this little Marine training book from like the 90s, where like it was for the Marines to do at home before they went off to basic boot camp to get them ready, like in shape.
Yeah.
And I don't have it anymore, but I would do the workout. They had like a daily body weight workout. I did it. I don't know if you're supposed to do it every day, but I did it every day in like 5th grade, 4th grade.
Oh shit, that'll help.
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
What kind of stuff they have you doing?
Literally just no equipment, like just all types of weird jumping squats and different angle push-ups and
digging holes and filling them back up, jumping in and out of the holes.
Yeah, a bunch of random stuff. Like then I started I remember I got my first pull-up bar after that, and it's just some dumbbells, and I don't know. It just took off ever since. I don't know. I was like obsessed with it in 5th grade or something like that.
Who were like, obviously, you mentioned the Marines. So did you ever consider, or like the military, did you ever consider doing something along those lines? Like, is that something you would want to do even now, or? Maybe.
I think about it sometimes. I love war movies. They're badass. I don't know. When I was little, I always thought it was like a big possibility. Now that I've gotten older, I've realized like I don't think I could be like a foot soldier that goes out and uses his gun on people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Being a medic or something would be awesome in the military. I don't know. I still think about it sometimes.
Have you ever listened to David Goggins speak? Do you know what that is?
That sounds so familiar.
He's been on Rogan's podcast a few times. He's the bald guy he was in the Marines. He does Hell Week like every couple years. He ran ultra marathons. Like he was like 400 pounds and like lost all this weight. Now he's incredible. All this stuff, and he's been in the Marine. He was in the Marines for I forget how long, but he even after he'd done Hell Week would just do Hell Week for
crazy.
Fun. Like he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
and But
some people just enjoy that shit.
Yeah, but he's someone who it's like I listen to him talk and like he makes me be like, dude, I want to fucking do them just to see if I can do it, dude. Just to like prove myself that I could do it. I don't want to necessarily fucking people up in battle, but like I want to do that. Like I want someone to kick my ass and like
totally.
Come out on the other side. I think there's like something so it's the feeling of accomplishment, like when you do stuff like that.
After you get through something like that.
Torture yourself willingly, basically.
Yeah, they have to inhale tear gas.
Dude, they have to like go in water that is meant to give them hypothermia.
Right. And
like run with boats over their head.
Yeah, and like sing songs while they do it.
Yeah, I was saying when I was in band, the band teacher at Wilmot, he was a Marine, he was telling us how they had to do this thing where like you would sit in cold mud for an hour.
Oh my god.
And you would sit, and they like woke them up at like 3 a.m. and made everyone sit and like lay in cold mud.
Yeah, they don't let you sleep for the first 2 or 3 days during Hell Week because they want you to hallucinate.
That's insane.
My friend,
how do you function?
A guy who's on my basketball team, TJ, he's in the Air Force, and he said in like when he was in basics or whatever, like the first 2 weeks, like he didn't poop. He didn't take a shit because he was just so stressed out.
What the hell?
And Like, but you're eating 3 times a day, and like
so where is it?
he said he's like, dude, I have no idea. Burned it. I don't know where it went.
Wow.
But shit like that is insane. Yeah. But you play football in high school and track and stuff like that. What was your favorite sport growing up?
Football by far. Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of the NFL then? Are you big in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. What are you?
Bears fan, sadly.
Okay. I know. We've been through some tough times.
It's rough. It's very rough.
Yeah, now how many tight ends do we have now?
I don't know.
Dude,
I lost
count. They're
count.
gonna run a no wide receiver offense.
Yeah, we can.
4 of them are secretly all Aaron Rodgers times 12.
What do you think? What do you think about Mitch, man? What's your thoughts on Mitchell Trubisky?
Honestly, I don't see him just all of a sudden getting like way better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. We've had 2 years to kind of see like what he can do.
What do you think has been? Because we were so good. You know,
right.
I guess I shouldn't say we were so good, but we were a very solid team. The defense was incredible. Yeah. Offense was okay enough to get us through games. Yeah. Where do you think that went wrong? What do you think we were doing well, and then what do you think went wrong?
Well, honestly, something that I feel like not a lot of Bears fans talked about enough was how we lost Jordan Howard. He was huge with Tariq Cohen. It's just like once we only had Tariq, it wasn't really the same.
They were 1-2 punch, dude. It was like we had Thomas Jones and Cedric Benson. And then we got rid of Thomas Jones and we just had Cedric Benson. Same shit happened. Yeah, exactly. Like, you have your guy that's going to carry the load, and then the other guy is great because he comes in to finish it. And I think they just forgot that.
Right.
I actually think, too, Nagy was kind of... I think Nagy's fucked up.
I was just going to say that, yeah. Just the way that, like... Because now they have Montgomery, too. Mm-hmm. But, like, they don't... He's not using Montgomery and Tariq the way that he did with Jordan Howard and Tariq. But we also are line smaller. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't help either.
What do we need, man? What do we need? What do the Bears really need?
That's a good question. Obviously, a stable quarterback, like, over time. A franchise quarterback, which a dude had... You think the Bears have ever had a real franchise quarterback?
No, Jay Cutler was our best quarterback ever, and, like, that's saying something.
Jim quarterback that was half blind. Jim McMahon was pretty psycho, but he was pretty good.
But he was half blind.
He was half blind, and he just handed the ball off to Walter Payton. Yeah. So, I mean, and then our best quarterback, literally, like, by the stats, is Jay Cutler, which is saying something.
He has, like, all our records.
That's you know, I'm a huge. I loved Jay because he was hilarious.
He was so funny.
I loved because he was he's a dick, but like I loved when he was a dick to the other team. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm a big fan of him.
I don't know if you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there was one time where he got a personal foul flag on. I think it was against the Vikings for like tossing them the ball after he got a first down run.
Yeah. Who did he fucking stiff armed somebody into the ground? Like they tried to tackle him as he was already going out of bounds, and he like threw the dude's helmet into the ground and then chucked the ball, and the refs were like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah, and then he got pushed back.
He's like a reality TV star now. He's got his wife's show.
That's what I heard.
Jenna and Kevin watch it.
Really?
I think they were telling me about it. I think they were telling me about it. It's he's hilarious. But yeah, that's saying something. And I like Jay Cutler, but that's saying something if he's our best quarterback ever.
Right. What about what are your thoughts on the Packers selection?
Didn't they get another quarterback?
Yeah. What's it, he's got? I mean, not to just rip on the guy, he could probably throw better than me, but he had like 20 touchdowns and 17 picks last year.
That's pretty good, man.
That's not
He's a slinger, bro.
Yeah,
he throws it. He sees it, he throws it.
That's right.
Dude,
just chuck it downfield.
The Bears got us to draft him.
Dude, I don't know. I think the Packers are very fortunate that our division sucks. Packer fans all hate the Patriots because of that same reason that everyone chalks up Tom Brady's success to his division sucking and Bill Belichick's greatness. But it's like, dude, the Packers have had solid head coaching. Yeah. And one of the shittiest divisions in football.
Yeah, the Vikings.
For so long. The Lions are arguably one of the worst franchises of all of sports history.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lions and Vikings have never won a Super Bowl.
The Bears, we have like such a flawed front office, and it's the same with the Chicago Bulls. Like we just do not get the sport or want to win. We're just happy that we have a big market.
Right, exactly.
That's and
huge.
And the Packers have benefited off that, but they're not in a good spot either. They're not in a spot to really win anything because you're paying Aaron Rodgers so much money that the rest of your team sucks.
Right.
Every year.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers hates everyone.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
Yeah, like people used to, and people would say that about like every Packer fan would tell me that about Jay Cutler, and I was like, dude, I'm with you. I'm not going to defend that he is a dick.
Right.
But your guy is like a way bigger dick. Doesn't even talk to his own family. Like hates everyone. Yeah, it was on.
It was on The Bachelor.
Because I know because I watched The Bachelor and it was his brother was on a season of The Bachelorette.
Seriously?
And he won.
Oh,
Like he won
He
and
was
like
the
married
dude that
the
got
chick.
the girl.
Yeah, he married the chick, and there was a big thing because you go to like hometowns, like whatever the last like 4 people, and
Aaron wasn't there.
and Aaron wasn't there.
Oh.
And then it came up finally. Like everyone, you knew right away that that's who his brother was, and like people would talk shit to him throughout the season about it. And he got all like emotional. Like that week was like, yeah, we don't talk to Aaron. Like he's not really a fan of us. Blah blah blah. And then they asked Aaron about it in the locker room of training camp or whatever that week, and he said something like, I don't really want to air out personal issues with the press, but he said, good luck. I hope, wish my brother good luck in the competition. So fucked up, dude.
Wow.
In the competition. But, yeah.
Not
very
so close to
stuff.
his family.
Yeah.
That's weird, because, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think, like, to be as great of a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers is, you might have to give up, like, relationships and stuff. But Tom Brady's tight with his parents.
Definitely. Tom Brady's, he's still, people get mad that he kisses his kids on the mouth. So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can still love people. And Zach Kramer, this is better than impulsive. How you ladies holding up? They're getting divorced. Oh, they're getting divorced. Oh shit. Sorry guys, I'm just pulling up the comments now. I guess Jordan Rogers, that's his name, and the chick that he won, I can't remember her name. They're getting divorced now. So it lasted like 3 years. 3 years, but
oh man.
So that's tough. But no, I don't know, dude. And the draft, did you watch the draft or did you just like see who everyone picked? It looked kind of weird with I guess with something like the draft though, it doesn't really change a whole lot doing it online. It's not like it's not like an actual sporting event or something. It's literally just like they were gonna pick them anyways. Yeah. So now I just
it kind of could be done online like every year.
Yeah, like you don't need to.
Some of them because some people don't even know they're
some people don't show up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. How many rounds is the NFL draft? Somebody was asking me about it.
7?
It is 7?
See,
I know it's long, but
I think it's like 7 or 8.
Because I know. Well, how long is like the MLB's? Theirs is long too, isn't it?
Yeah,
because they fucking draft people and then like they draft people for like every level. Of baseball.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it's all complicated with all the AA, AAA.
I don't know shit about baseball. I'm not gonna pretend to, but they.
Gunnar Peterson on. He can explain it.
Gunnar Peterson. I should have him on the podcast. He's apparently very good. He's going pro, right? That's what I hear.
That's the word.
Yeah, that is the word, dude. Did you ever meet Gavin Lux, the guy from Indian Trail that went pro?
I know his brother.
Oh no! I never met him.
I know his brother.
I was thinking of a different Gavin at first, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we actually ran into Gavin Lux. I actually never knew who he was because I don't play baseball. So like, being friends with like Troy Hickey and stuff, like, came up and they were talking about him. And literally the week I found out he existed and was like possibly going pro and all this stuff, there was this dodgeball tournament at Wilmot that Maddie Martin like set up or something. Or no, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. But they had this tournament set up at Wilmot, and we were playing this like all baseball players team in the championship.
Oh boy.
So they could fucking sling it, dude. And like we can't throw, but we like tied and went to OT. Ooh. Sudden death.
All right.
Nick Freeman over there in the corner. Nick Freeman versus soon to be LA Dodger Gavin Lux.
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
Wow.
Sudden death. There's no boundary. You can sprint at each other and throw the ball. Yeah. And Nick, I forget what. So they both they both could pick up. They had to sprint to their ball, and then you could run over the half court and hit each other.
Yeah.
Nick gets his ball, and Gavin just sprint like. Gavin's this big, strong dude. Nick's a scared little ginger kid. Nick picks up his ball like scared as fuck, and this dude just sprints over, and just barely misses Nick. Like whips it as hard as he can. Was probably like this far away, and Nick just tosses the ball off the dude's leg and gets him out, and we won the thing. We won the whole thing. And this dude, I just remember like,
wow, man,
that meant nothing to him. And honestly, in retro, it doesn't mean the world to us. But I always will remember that this dude like 3 or 4 weeks later got drafted.
Right, that's insane, man.
And his signing bonus was $1.2 million.
Wow.
And then he fucking like it was then I.
But he couldn't beat you guys.
And he couldn't beat us in dodgeball. Couldn't take Nick 1-on-1. So we have that forever. I'm sure he's doing great. He actually is doing really good. I heard. So he's moving up rather quickly, which is good for him. I'm not a big baseball guy, but that's
right.
That is
hilarious. That's always something we're gonna have on him though.
Oh no, Jay Cutler and his wife are getting divorced.
What?
Oh, that's who
that's who's getting divorced. Oh no! Now I'm
sorry
actually
to hear
sad.
It,
Fuck.
That's way worse.
Connor says, "Hey, twin, what's up?" So.
Hey Connor, how's it going, twin?
We gotta get Connor. I want to get Connor on the show, but he said he hasn't been feeling himself lately due to the quarantine, which I get.
Like he's been feeling sick.
Maybe. He might be ill. He might be terminally ill. That'd be pretty scary.
Connor.
Dude, do you know anybody who is like a nurse or a doctor right now? That is
my
working
aunt
in?
is a nurse.
Oh really? Is she like working hella overtime, like dealing with this shit, or?
I haven't really asked her too much. I talked to her like once since this all started. Everything seemed normal. She works at a nursing home though.
You haven't heard from her again? She alright?
Oh, I should probably check in on her.
Probably
That's
see
a good
it.
point. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That fucking. But it's crazy because McKenna's going to school to be a nurse. And they're like they were asking all these like retired nurses and doctors to come out of retirement to help at first.
I've heard that it's like getting nuts and they've had to build like emergency hospitals and stuff.
Yeah, I actually heard too though that a lot of the emergency hospitals now they're slowly shutting them down.
Already?
Yeah, it's like we just built them. And
creating jobs.
But like if you think about it, like that was the whole point of flattening the curve, was so that like we didn't need to do that.
Yeah, true.
Because it was to like so we don't overload the health system.
Yeah, and apparently we did.
But then now we didn't.
Now it's not.
So I don't know. But that's what I've been, dude. That's the other thing with the coronavirus. I've never watched the news as much as I have.
Oh yeah.
Now, and it's like I don't actually like watch the news. Like I just get all of it recommended to me on YouTube because it's like they want you to know about whatever's going on.
Yeah, true.
And whatever Trump's saying or Fauci or whatever, and it's just like it's too much, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
Just too much information out there.
I was watching a podcast. I think it might have been Rogan's, but there was some guy on that said that people might not shake hands anymore after this.
Oh my god, yeah.
I did nuts.
That's what they I forget what doctor was recommending that, but they were saying that like it's when we come back to this, like we're not going to get back to normal, we're going to get back to a different normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, for me, I've had some awkward handshakes, so I mean, I guess that takes that out of the question, but that will be kind of weird to walk into especially like whenever I go to the gym, like for basketball wise, like everybody dabs each other up, like we're just going to like salute each other.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's gonna be weird.
That is weird. I mean,
it's the elbows.
The elbows thing. I actually there was it was like a week before the shutdown, and I was at work because we were still open then, and this regular came in, and I go. He always wants he always gives me like a really firm handshake. He's like, "Oh, Darren, how you doing?" Comes in, I go to give him a handshake, and like he goes to give me a handshake, and he's like, "Oh," and gives me the elbow, and I was like, "All right, whatever, funny." Then my manager comes in, and he's like, "Oh, yo, what's up?" And I'm not gonna name it, but then he just gives him a hug, like right in front of me. And I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck was that, bro?" I'm pissed now. Like I'm pissed about this elbow shit. So now it's gonna be like handshakes or that only for that special someone.
Right. That's weird.
Which is gonna be really weird.
I hope it's not like that.
That'd be
I know that would be.
I feel like it's gonna take a lot of getting used to.
That would be cringy.
Yeah.
How are interviews gonna work now?
Any sort of business in general.
Yeah,
How do you confirm a deal in Shark Tank?
True.
Dude, I don't know, dude. That is kind of weird with interviews, but then you don't have to worry about the handshake, which
the dead fish. If you suck at it, like
I guess takes about 2 weeks out of my business classes, my my intro to business course is gone now, out the window. Didn't need to learn how to shake hands.
They spent 2 weeks on shaking hands.
No, wasn't 2 weeks, but it was. They remind you for the first 2 weeks.
They go into detail.
They remind you how important it is.
Yeah, the palm on the perfect angle.
Yeah, that one.
What are you? Oh, yo,
like 2 weeks.
this is a good question. Good question from my man Kepi. What are your predictions for the rest of 2020?
My predictions for the rest of 2020. All right, I'm gonna predict. All right.
Is this the end?
These predictions aren't what I hope, but these are just what I think. What day is
I think it's
April
27th.
27th?
Yep.
Okay. By the end of May, they'll either have. That's tough. I think by the end of May, maybe halfway through June, they'll either stop the quarantines, or people are just gonna freak out about it. They're gonna give up and start protesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be some kind of. There's a meteor's gonna hit Earth or something like that. Something like that's got to happen.
We could use that.
And most importantly, NFL season will happen.
It will
That's
happen.
final prediction.
I know the NFL will happen. It's a very a lot of people that are ride or die for the NFL are the same people that are protesting right now.
Right,
so
yeah.
that's the same demographic. But I think, dude, it's crazy to think it's crazy how much money sports bring in to economies in general, dude.
Yeah.
And people do pro athletes in some respects get paid a little too much? People think. Sure, you could think that. I mean, but if you think about how much money they're really creating, revenue for these cities, dude, it's and we're missing out on all that right now.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of stuff that's not.
It's crazy, dude. It's something to really think about, and we've talked about it. I've talked about it a couple of times on the show with LeBron saying that he didn't want to play in front of if there was no crowd in the stadium, but it's we're bored as fuck.
Yeah,
man.
please give us something.
If you just play, everyone, you're still playing for the fans.
Right.
Oh yeah.
We just aren't
Yeah,
there.
we're still watching and
We're
cheering.
still watching and hyped for you.
The
dude.
only thing
for
you're
the
really
first-
losing with that is just the ticket sales of just them showing up.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Like,
first
it's-
sports
might be a
game
little
that
less
happens
intense.
after this is going to be the most watched sports
Oh
game.
man.
It's going to be more watched than the Super Bowl last year. I promise you that.
They said, I heard that they're thinking about doing a tournament for the NBA.
Yeah,
March
that sounded
Madness.
That would be cool.
To make the play to do the top. I think it was the top portion of the league, and then those people would do a playoff for the playoffs, and then they just start the playoffs and go from there. But I think they'd
It's a
skip
good way
the
to squeeze it in.
Yeah, I think they'd skip the first round or something. I don't know, dude. It's gonna be fucking weird.
Yeah, whatever happens.
That'd be
it's
pretty
gonna
dope
It'll
though.
be
Some
interesting.
underdog team who's
Yeah.
been they've been grinding it out and let's say I don't know.
See,
some
the
other people have
NBA is not meant for that though. That's why it
Yeah.
works for college,
I
but it's
know.
if that let's say that happened. Let's say the Kings won a game to make they won because
They-
1 out of 1.
been,
They win the game to go to the playoffs, right? They get in a series with somebody that can actually fucking do shit, like LA, either LA team, the Raptors, anybody. You getting fucked up in
Yeah.
that sports
Yeah,
series.
right.
You're not winning 4 times, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what sucks. Duncan's in this bitch. He's saying what's up. But I guess for 2020, dude, I hope. I don't have any predictions, just hopes that this is done by May.
Yeah.
I just obviously it's not gonna be the virus isn't gonna disappear, but
Right.
hopefully we can have it at a point where
where it's just the
It's under
flu.
control enough.
where people can people like us that are healthier, younger, and willing to go out and do things can do things,
Yeah.
and
I'm sure everyone will be more careful after this.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, absolutely.
I've already been washing my hands way too much.
dude,
Really dry AF.
exactly, dude. White people need lotion. We need
Yeah,
lotion.
that's a serious problem.
We
All
don't
white people out there.
we don't
Have
have
They're
enough.
ashy. You just can't see it.
It's way more
Yeah.
useful than
Don't
us
notice.
white men have thought for so long.
That's there's a Bill Burr joke that says something about
Yeah.
that white
His
people
wife.
because his wife is black, and that white people need black friends, so they need to know how to use lotion,
Yeah, because no one does.
and then black people need white friends so that they can get their guns registered, because it was it's fucked up. It's a lot more complex than that, so I don't want to get fucking destroyed for that. Go watch The Stand. I don't know which one it is, but he's got a lot of great stand-ups.
Oh man, I love Bill Burr.
He's one of the best. Did you see Chris D'Elia came out with a New stand-up. I haven't seen it yet. I
watched it. I thought it started off pretty funny and wasn't as funny towards the end, but I don't know.
He's somebody
his
who's like...
His first couple were super funny, so I don't know. It's hard to beat that, I guess.
And he's like, for me, I mean, he's really funny, but I think like just him is funny. Like just like him talking. Like I watch like his podcast sometimes, and like he's just talking about random shit, and he's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily like Burr is funny, but like when you're just listening to him talk, sometimes he sounds like just pissed off.
Yeah.
But when he's on stage, like he turns it into like this really big, long, great paying off joke.
His jokes kill.
Yeah.
Great.
And so like I don't know if D'Elia is necessarily like that, but he's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny, dude.
Bill Burrell, man.
What so what else have you been watching? You said, I know you're saying off air that you're figuring out how to work Netflix way too well.
Yeah. Then I need to like step up my show game, I guess. I've been watching a lot of movies. But yeah, anything with war. Pretty much watched every war movie on Netflix. All the stand-ups, I feel like I've seen every stand-up that there is.
Yeah, I haven't
all the comedies.
You've seen any of the Last Dance documentary?
Yeah, I've seen. Isn't there only 2 of them out so far? Like 2 episodes?
4 now. 2 weeks.
4?
So they drop 2 every weekend.
Oh, okay. So I have not seen the second 2. I've seen the first 2.
Yeah, I saw the first 2 and they were pretty dope. I didn't watch the second 2 yet. But,
yeah, the first 2 are awesome. I feel bad for Scottie Pippen. They just did not respect that guy.
No. And I also don't understand why he didn't try and get more money. The owner told him not to take the deal.
Yeah, he was the 6th highest paid on the Bulls, and then like the
122nd.
Yeah, highest paid in the league.
He was like arguably the second best player in the league.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like you have the number 1 and 2 player.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.
Very underappreciated. Even Jordan said it. He was like, without Pippen, there's no Jordan.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, it literally is the truth. They didn't win a championship until then.
Right.
So that's what's crazy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole documentary. It's cool. I feel it sucks that little white guy is like ruining everything. All
yeah. That
Krause,
fat dude.
Yeah, Jerry Krause or whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever seen a video of Michael Jordan talking outside of like when he was back on the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like in the documentary where he's just on the couch, just talking like a normal dude.
Oh yeah,
which is interesting. I feel like he's never in the.
He never makes
public eye.
Yeah, they were talking about that because he's scared. He's scared that people are gonna think he's a dick.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And so that's why, like, he did a couple of interviews on like Good Morning America, and I think he was on ESPN. Even like interviews that he never does. Yeah. Because like he doesn't. He's, like people like nowadays, if you want to become some sort of public figure, you need to be like 100% of the time accessible to your audience. Like, you know, all these like rappers and musicians are always on Instagram Live, even before the quarantine. Like they're always talking directly to their fans every day. Yeah. Someone like a Michael Jackson, or like these traditional celebrities in a sense, like a Michael Jordan or something like that. Back then, like if you were famous, like you did not. Yeah, you didn't make yourself like you don't have to make people. Like you show up, you do something, people are gonna buy it. Jordan drops something new, people are gonna buy it no matter what. Right. Nowadays, it's like you have to be. I think it's just so saturated that like you have to be in front of your people's face.
It's a good way to put it.
And I think it's cool, but it's fucking dope to hear him. It's just cool to hear him talk.
Yeah, it is.
And to hear him, because everyone always debates. It's like the only thing they talk about on ESPN or Fox anymore is like, who's better, LeBron or Jordan? Blah blah blah. So it's cool to hear him actually like just give some insight into his mindset. You know. Yeah.
Not to be that typical guy, but LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
You heard it here first.
Jordan. I'm a big Jordan guy. I mean, LeBron doesn't mean, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't mean LeBron could never get there. Like, he's still great right now, and I don't know when he's not gonna be great. Yeah. Like Kobe was great, right? And he was great for a long time. Last couple years, like you didn't expect Kobe to win a championship the last 3-4 years of his career. Like you never were like, oh, he's gonna do that. And you
kind of just see it tailing off a little
bit. But LeBron, you don't see that.
Yeah, no, he's
so I don't
still
know.
The Terminator.
Exactly. Like he's got 3 rings, and I don't know how many years left he has. He could win 3 more. You know.
Yeah, he hasn't shown like any sign of slowing down.
No, he's crazy. I think it's crazy how much money he spends on his body. Like over
like $1 million.
Yeah, over $1 million a year.
It's wild.
People were saying that he's taking some crazy supplements too.
Oh yeah,
crazy shit.
Probably. I mean, humans usually don't get that big.
He didn't lift weights all of high school, and he came into the league almost the size he is now.
It's insane.
He got a little bit bigger when he played in Miami, and there was a lot of talk about him being on steroids and shit. But like they didn't have like. There was like reports saying that like his doctors had like strains that they could not test for, so by the time they could test for things, he would have something else.
Interesting.
I don't know if I believe that because he's a hard-working guy, but you also have to apparently like if you're on shit like that, you have to work harder, is what every bodybuilder says.
Yeah, that's true, but it allows you to. I remember hearing this stat, or I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a stat. It was like this. It was a study done with like. I don't know how they did it, but they found athletes that were training and taking steroids and willing to do like a anonymous poll. And they said like where the average athlete on any given exercise, this is just like average, you could do a max out. So they're talking pretty much anything, bench, squat, deadlift, whatever it may be. You can do your max that your body could possibly do, usually like once every 3 days.
Yeah.
Because it takes a little bit to recover from that. But they say that when you're on steroids, it turns into 3 times a day.
Holy shit.
So instead of, I don't know, say your max squats 400 pounds, instead of doing that once every 3 days, you could do it 3 times a day. So, I don't know, is that like 9 times as much?
That's insane.
How does that even work?
Like your muscles have got to just be repairing it at like the most insane rate, dude. That's supplementation is crazy, dude.
So steroids, guys.
Dude, fucking. I was talking with a guy that I work with. He's like 34 now, 30, 32, 33. I don't know. He's low 30s, and we always talk about it all the time. He's like, I got no problem doing steroids once I'm like 40s, 50s, and I can't like, he's like, I can't fucking be it. Like I don't have the testosterone anymore. He's like, I don't fucking care. I'll do it. And I was like. You know what? That's a good way to put it, man. That's a good way to put it. And they were saying Bill Burr has a joke too, not to reference Bill Burr again, where he's like, I don't care if fucking athletes are taking steroids. He's like, let them take steroids and blow their fucking hearts up and all this shit, because by the time they figure it out, then little fucking tiny me can use it and I'll actually be healthier. He's like, look, and his comparison is like with hair pieces. Like he's like, look at hair pieces when they started using those. They look fucking terrible, awful. Did not look like hair at all. And you look at him today, now you can't even tell the difference.
Right.
And so he's like, that's kind of the same point where he's like, I don't care if fucking professional athletes are going to do it, because at least by the time we figure it out.
It'll evolve to like a safe form.
Yeah, we can all use.
Right.
But not along the lines of steroids, but what kind of, like, obviously taking fitness very seriously, what kind of supplementation, like, have you taken?
I mostly just do like the very basic, like protein after I work out, pre-workout before.
What's your thoughts on, like, so you're cool with pre-workout? Because I'm kind of nervous about pre-workout. I get weird about it.
I wouldn't say it's healthy.
That's what I get scared. I mean, there's a lot of like jokes where like this one guy Dom Mazzetti.
Oh, dude, he's hilarious.
He's so funny.
He's
the
professor. Dude,
yeah, and his NAR pump pre-workout. It's like, I mean, your heart might explode when you're 40, but at least you got gains while you were alive.
Yeah, it's kind of a good way to put it.
And yeah, that's what I get nervous with pre-workout though. I've actually never even taken pre-workout because I see it as like, it's like a mental challenge for me, where I feel like if I need it to go work out, then I'm losing, then like that's just how I feel about it. But then everybody that like takes it tells me like, no, dude, I get jacked the fuck up and I can go do more than I could without it.
Right.
And then like, because then if and I get that it's like the same thing as like a cheat rep. Like if you like do a cheat rep, you can cheat it up, and you can still slow it down on the way down.
Yeah.
You're gonna get more work than you could have done. You know. So I don't know how I feel about it.
I really don't think any pre-workout could just make you stronger, just by being on it. But I don't know. The only reason I like it is because I'm often like very low energy, groggy throughout the day until I take my pre-workout. And then it like spikes.
Do you work out later in the day then?
All over the place, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, no routine. It depends on when I have to work or whatever's going on throughout the day.
Yeah, I hate doing that. Like I And I mean, kind of doing it now though with the whole quarantine thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of working out when I get up.
Right.
But like I can't get myself to be like if I don't work out, like when this is all over, when we go back to normal, like I like to like get up early, work out before I go to work, and then
Have
enjoy
like a
myself
routine.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, dude. I hated when I was at school trying to like. It was like towards the end of school when basketball had ended, and I was trying to figure out like juggling like work, school, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be playing at a different school, so it was like I didn't know what time to work out, and like it would just like
it's
get
a
to the
lot.
point where you're like 7 o'clock at night, and you're like, I got everything done now. I can go hit the gym,
Right.
but fuck it, I don't want
dude,
to.
my couch is right there.
Exactly, dude. So creatine. What about creatine? Do you think I've taken creatine? I don't know how I feel about it because my Mr. Robers from Wilmot, health teacher, told me no. He said don't do it. He said get off that shit. You're gonna get kidney stones. And I was like, well, I don't know. And then my health teacher at URock, which is the school I went to before, he was like all for creatine. Like, yeah, you should be taking it every day. Blah blah blah. Like, never get off of creatine and all this shit. And it was like, and I asked him if he'd ever had a kidney stone, and he'd had kidney stones twice.
Oh,
and I was
geez.
like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to believe.
That's scary, dude. Kidney stones are one
terrifying.
of my biggest fears.
Rockstar, dude. That
was
shit.
Shoulder had like
Energy
12.
drink. Yeah, Ethan Shoulder was on the podcast, and that's
He's fucked up.
he's flexing his kidney stones to us.
God, that's ridiculous.
But I hear it from that shit too. That shit scares me.
Yeah, this is poison. I just really needed to pick.
What is
me
it?
up for
What does
details.
it taste like? I've never even had Rockstar.
Just poison. This is punch.
Or Monster, I heard tastes like
sweet
piss.
poison.
Which one tastes like piss? Red Bull?
Red Bull.
Oh,
Red Bull does not taste very
tastes
good.
I don't know. So
It
bad.
tastes
I
like-
like
everybody
Red Bull.
says
I can chug Monsters plain, honestly. I love the
Red
original
or Monster
flavor.
tastes more like piss to me, but everybody says
Really?
Red Bull tastes
I
like.
love
Red Bull's
Bull.
good with
I love
vodka.
Nice.
Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
That's very good for you.
Upper and a downer at the same time.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on creatine then?
I mean, I've never had like a week where I didn't take creatine and be like, oh man, I feel smaller. Or I've never had a week where I've taken a ton of creatine and been like, wow, I feel great. Just kind of, I don't know. Like, I've never noticed a difference, but what I've heard, and I could be wrong because I'm not citing any sources here, but like what I've heard is that the kidney stone issues are from, traditionally at least, from back in the day when people would just mound up grams and grams of creatine into their drinks, when now I think the recommended dose is like 5 grams or less.
It's like a scoop, like a little tiny scoop.
Yeah, I take, like, I don't even have any right now. I haven't had it in a while, but when I do buy creatine, I get like little pills, and I think 2 pills is only 2.5 grams.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't even know why I buy it sometimes.
What is creatine like supposed to be for the people that don't know?
So I've heard it's supposed to just like put water in your muscles and help you keep on water weight, which in turn somehow helps your muscles rebuild or recover easier. Yeah.
I wonder, because that's what that's what I've been told about it, is that it's just helps you like retain water weight, which in turn then like your technically if you're heavier, like your muscles are having to work harder, kind of, you know. So I don't know, whatever, helping you hit what is it called, muscle cytosis. I don't know what the fuck it is, dude. Whenever your muscles are breaking down and building back up again. Kevin says, "Yo, what's up, Kevin? We're talking creatine right now."
What's up, Kevin?
But I've taken it on and off, like whenever I'm like really trying to gain weight, and I don't know. I don't have a problem taking it. It doesn't taste like anything.
You almost just don't notice it either.
But I'm just like, I don't know I don't know
Yeah.
that I feel any different. Like I don't feel like bigger, and I
Right,
don't feel
definitely
any
not.
smaller once I get off it, like you were saying. So
Yeah.
I don't really know. So you said you just kind of do protein shake. Do you have like a whey protein or something? Do you make a
Yeah.
shake?
I just throw it in water,
You
honestly.
throw it in water, dude.
Yeah.
You and fucking Jake, dude.
Yeah,
Jake, I was working out with Jake, and we were working out for a while, back like the couple months leading up to the quarantine shit. And he, one day he asked me to come over after. He's like, dude, well, I'll make some steaks. We'll have some protein shakes, or whatever. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. about to like, especially like, you know, Jake's a strong guy. I'm like, fuck yeah, he probably has a dope ass fucking protein shake. About to eat a fat steak.
It was just
get over to his
water,
house.
Wasn't it?
He fucking puts the. I don't even know. Was it? It might have been fucking vanilla too. I can't remember if it was vanilla.
Oh, that's rough.
But vanilla's fucking weird.
Yeah,
dude.
vanilla's bad.
I don't know if it was
Never
vanilla.
get
I'm not gonna fucking say that. I'm not gonna disrespect Jake in case it was chocolate. But it might have been vanilla. I don't remember. But all I know is that it was a scoop of fucking protein in fucking regular ass faucet water.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't do it, dude. I sat there. I'm like plugging my nose, drinking it because I can't do it. Just sitting there on the top of the water, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it does suck, but I'm like so used to it just from doing it for years. But I remember me and Jake learned this at the same time. Actually.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about because you guys like, and maybe it's just through my eyes, but like I was like, I remember everyone in our grade was like obviously all guys in like 7th, 8th, and then freshman year, like we all are like around the same size and whatever,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you guys just got fucking jacked.
Right.
You guys like you said, you were taking it very seriously, and then plus doing football, I'm sure that helped a ton.
Yeah,
and like you, Troy, and Jake like really like took it seriously and got way stronger. So I wanted to know like, that's kind of when I was asking you like at what point, like, what was going on there? I guess like what did you learn that helped you?
The big difference there, like with, I don't know, pre-high school days to high school days was just weight training, honestly. Mm-hmm. Just like before high school, I never actually squatted with weight on my back and stuff like that. And Kaiser, our football coach, had us going.
I miss Kaiser. Dude.
I miss him too. Shout out Kaiser if you ever see this. Miss you, man.
Oh, dude, I should get Kaiser on the podcast.
Yeah,
he's ducking me though.
He'd be a good guest.
He's fucking ducking me.
He's
dude.
ducking you.
He's
scared.
He disrespected. I love Coach Kaiser, and I actually miss him kicking the shit out of me because I loved it.
He was the best at it too.
He was, dude, and I loved it because there would be guys that were way stronger than me that were like doing like could do way better than me, but like I will not quit, and like I that was like as I started working out with him more, like he realized that, so he would be even a bigger dick to me, and I loved it. I don't know why. It's weird, probably fucking little bit sadistic, but it was like, dude, he's gonna fucking kick. I know I'm going to Summer Shock today. He's going to single me out a couple of times, and I cannot wait for those times where I'm going to be dying. But, like, so I messaged him back during my my second year of playing hoops at Rock County, and I was like, hey, I have a couple schools that are looking at me to play at the next level. I just really would like to, like, if you could send me some sort of program or whatever. Like, I felt like when I was working with you, that's when I saw, like, the most improvement. Plus, I was also like a newbie lifter, so that's probably why. But two, I really enjoyed like his take on fitness, and I emailed him. I had to fucking go through, forget what school he was at the time. It was lacrosse or something. And Eau Claire, that's what it was. Yeah. Eau Claire, and I went through all of their staff to find this fucker's email.
Oh, really?
And I email him, and he doesn't respond to me. Wow. And I was so sad and heartbroken. And he has my number too, so I don't know if he has my new number though. So maybe it's my old number. But either way.
Hit us up, Coach.
Would love to talk fitness with you.
Yeah.
And maybe train a little bit.
Yeah, maybe work out, see if you still got it.
Oh, dude,
I'm sure he's still jacked.
I'm sure he's still jacked.
He's probably more jacked.
Yeah, he's probably somehow stronger. But with like, what were the things that you learned? What were the things you were saying that you guys learned?
From Kaiser, just he was so hard on good form. That he would just stop you, like if you, I mean, you probably saw it, if you had like a rounded back or something while squatting or anything wasn't perfect, he would just stop you, make you go down and wait in front of everyone.
BLT was in my group, dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I saw it. He was in my lifting group.
And then he also kind of made it. He like showed us how to embrace the suck. I think that was like an actual quote that he used. Embrace the suck. You see it in like movies with soldiers like like in their boot camps training together, where they're kind of like obviously not having a good time, but kind of having a good time. It doesn't make any sense.
That's what
when you're on the ground doing abs with all your friends, you're obviously all in pain, but it's kind of still fun, you know.
It is
after you get used to it. It's like that,
and it's like. It's well, that's why I think if you haven't heard Goggins, you would like David Goggins. He's got a really good book too, and he's someone who that's all he talks about is like you have to flip it on its head and enjoy suffering.
Right.
And it's like he would start doing like there's some Olympic athletes that wanted to train. They sought him out to train them, and I forget what the guy was. I think he was like a cyclist or whatever. But Goggins doesn't give a fuck what you're training for. Like he just wants to train your mind and stuff like that. And so like, dude, he woke him up at it was like 2:30 in the morning. He woke this guy up, and then he's like, all right, we're going for a run. And the guy gets his stuff on, gets outside, and he was half asleep, so he didn't even realize. They get outside, it's a thunderstorm, just hail everywhere, lightning
That's
everywhere.
terrible.
And the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about, David? And he's like, no, let's go. And like he was dead ass serious, and the guy like that, he said like that's one of the times that he just like bailed out. Like he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He's like, you're too crazy. I'm not fucking doing this. Man. And like he would pick things that like he specifically couldn't do, or you would think like a sane human being would not do this.
Right.
So I need to do this.
It's that that mental warfare preparation.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That is wild.
But when was like the first moment when like you realized that you were like starting to like understand fitness a little bit more? Because you were a fitness instructor, right? Correct? Like.
Yeah, I was a personal trainer for a while.
What? Where were you at?
I worked at a gym chain called Era Fitness, and it was down in Gurnee, and I was partly managing the gym, personal training, doing boot camps, and then doing membership sales. And it was awesome, except for I really hated the sales part. Yeah. And not that it was impossible, it just...
Were there like
I did not get enjoyment out of it.
Was there like pressure to like meet certain... like have certain amount of sales every month or so?
Definitely. And it's like you almost feel... Sorry to any personal trainers out there, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you kind of feel like scummy sometimes, because they have a price set that they want you to get them for right away. And 80% of the time, it's no way they're going to be able to afford that. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to bump it down too far, so they like have systems on how much money you can squeeze out of people. That's crazy. And the sales is how you make your money. So that's why I don't do it anymore. But the actual training part of it was awesome. Super fun.
What about boot camps? I see a lot of people, who is it? Like, it's like Sarai Roberts and,
doing
Maxie
burn
Manners,
boot camp
they
or
do the
something.
burn boot camp or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys have like a thing similar to that? What are your thoughts on those?
Dude, honestly, if you want to get in shape, like if you're overweight and you want to lose weight, it's probably the best way to do it.
To just quickly like lose weight.
Yeah, because it's a cardio workout the whole time, but at least if it's being run right, you're gonna be sore everywhere. Yeah. Like arms, legs, back, chest, everything. Because that's like a big key to losing fat that people don't really get is when you like working out almost helps you more than cardio. I would argue that cardio is better for like your lungs and heart health. Yeah. But when you work out, your body gets so depleted and it needs so many calories and so much energy to regenerate itself that energy that gets used would be stored energy that would make you fat, you know? So I don't know if this is making sense. I'm pretty bad at explaining this type of shit, but but yeah, the more muscle your body's making, the less fat it's going to be making because it's using that energy.
And so like doing something like that where you're not just doing cardio and you're not just doing weightlifting, but you're doing like a very pretty good combination of both, I would imagine. That's what I just see videos on Instagram, people's stories, so I don't know what they're actually about. But
yeah, we had this one guy. We would always like the instructors would not single out, but like kind of like watch people that had like those calorie trackers on their wrists, like Fitbits and stuff. And there was this one guy that he was big, to be honest, but we were able to get him to burn like 1,000 calories every class, like nothing.
Holy shit!
I think one time, and it's always like an hour tops with like a 10-minute warm up, so it's not a ton of time. Yeah, we got this guy to burn like 1,400 calories once. I think that was the most I ever got, maybe 1,700.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, but if someone like me or you try to do that in an hour, I don't think it's possible.
No, dude, I don't think I was. Like, I used to, when I was, my last year playing basketball, I would work out in the morning. I would get my lift done at 5, and then I would go to school, and I didn't have school in the morning at 8, but I would I worked the open gym, and no one would come because it was a small school. So I would get 500 made shots in, and then I would go to class, and then I would go to the afternoon open gym that went from like 3 to 5, and get my other 300, so I could get 800 every day. And then we would start practice, and I would do practice, and then if people were playing at, there was another gym that people would play at on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would go play again, and I don't think I would, like, I probably burned like around that in the whole day.
Right.
Like that's insane. That someone's doing that in a matter of how long? What was you say? An hour or 2 hours?
An hour.
Fuck.
Yeah. That sounds like you were doing a lot though.
Yeah, I mean, I might have gotten close to that, but like that's insane, especially for somebody who's a bigger guy or something like that.
Yeah.
What's like your favorite kind of training then, or what was your favorite thing about being a personal trainer, I guess?
My favorite thing about it is just, I don't know, I really enjoy when I could see whoever I was training getting into like the zone, like where you feel like you're that dude that's got the stopwatch on Rocky while he's doing his jump rope or whatever. But I don't know, that just would always get me pumped up when I could see like some out of shape, like middle-aged mother just cranking out bench press with like a stern face.
She's just starting to really feel it.
Yeah. No, that gets me pretty pumped.
I know. What would be like? I'm sure you ran into people that maybe paid for it and then weren't really, once they got into it. Did you ever run into people that like bit off more than they could chew? Like,
yeah.
They got into it. Like, what were like the horror story? Like, what are the worst kind of people you had being a personal trainer?
Well, honestly, one of the biggest, or like one of the hardest parts for gyms, one of the hardest things gyms have to do is retain customers.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's all good. If you're gonna switch the battery, we're just switching the battery, guys. Don't freak out. Tim's gonna just have to change. You just gotta change the scene so it comes back up to. Oh, it is back up. Okay, cool. Okay, Ty's telling us, real quick. Ty's telling us the worst thing, horror stories.
Yeah.
Trying to keep people as personal trainer.
Right. Yeah, that's just the thing. Like it's hard for gyms to retain customers or clients.
Yeah.
So yeah, like often we would have people before their first like pay and then before their first day try to call and cancel, which was never fun. But I think the only horror story I have.
Did anyone like give you like an attitude, like really get in, like, or was it dick, or just like you pushed them too hard? Like, what's like the worst thing, most embarrassing thing that's happened?
I think the most embarrassing thing that happened was this woman that came in and like did her free personal training session or whatever that you get just for showing up. And then the next day she came in and she was like, I don't know what she was claiming, that we like beat the shit out of her or something. She was just like, she didn't go to a hospital, so she didn't have like a doctor's note.
She said like she got like beaten up.
No, she was just saying like
they worked her too hard.
I can't. Yeah, basically. But I mean,
what did she specifically say to you? Like, how does she come in and go about doing something like that?
I don't even remember. She was like, we just need to have a serious talk. I remember that coming out of her mouth, and something about how she needed to like. She wanted to use her payment for some sort of other application instead of personal training, just because she thought it was going to be too intense.
Wow.
I don't know. There's not even much of a story, but yeah, luckily there wasn't too many horror stories.
Does anybody like get, I don't know, you ever run into like any weirdos, like any people like trying to like, are any creepy people, like, especially you're dealing with like middle-aged moms and stuff like that, you dealing with any weirdness on that kind of front, or most of the time people taking the fitness seriously and they just want Ty to teach them how to get strong? Yeah,
but yeah, I would say in the serving industry it's worse with getting hit on than the personal training industry.
That's definitely true.
I'm sure you know as a bartender.
The moms, I mean, not with a beard like this right now, but the moms are weird, man.
Yeah,
moms are weird.
They can be aggressive too.
Check your people are like check your battery. We've got it. They changed it. It's all good. They can be aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
Tim's definitely been I've been probably sexually harassed, like where I could have filed something at work, but I'm not that kind of guy, so I'm not gonna do that.
Sometimes it's enjoyable.
So how long were you personal trainer then? How long were you doing that?
Not very long. I'd say 3 months, and the first month the gym was not open yet. So it was
so it was
just
like a newer gym.
Yeah, it was his second, like the CEO's, it was his second gym of his chain that he made, and now he probably has like 10 or something. He's the guy that hired me and was my boss. He's like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life.
That's pretty dope.
Like, and yeah, I mean, not to endorse anyone, but if you guys need a 24/7 gym and there's an Era Fitness near you, it's pretty cool. They're pretty dope.
That's cool. How much are they like a month for like a regular membership?
They're like dead ass. They're the cheapest besides Planet Fitness. So I think just for 24/7 access, it's like $25 a month.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's cheaper than Snap. That's why I have a Snap. So
yeah, same.
and
if you have that,
Jack was 32.
The Jack in Janesville was really nice. So we had
never been there.
That's true.
It's the Janesville Athletic Club. That's why it's only in Janesville. But
wait a second. I actually think I have been there
That place
with
is
some
fun.
friends. There's like basketball courts and stuff.
It's got the
and
2 basketball courts. They got a pool downstairs. They've got they got a couple of really cool sections. Really nice. They've got like hydro massage machines and like
I think I have been there.
it's cool. It's a cool place. I liked it. I heard interesting stories about certain employees and had some issues with that people had issues with, but I personally had a good experience, so it was dope. But I actually wondered about the personal training thing. How you were saying you guys like you're trying to keep people, trying to keep people there, but people also want to just achieve their goals and get out.
Yeah, like, I guess it is kind of counter.
So it's like, how do you like? How is the balance with that? Because I know one of my friends in Janesville was like trying to get in shape for a wedding or something, and like first off, I feel like in general, you shouldn't only want to be in shape for something, because then like the second that's over, you're just gonna go right back.
Yeah.
So I get that part of being like a personal trainer and just being like, well, let's take it slow, let's get you in like with good habits and shit like that. But he I think he only wanted to lose like 10 pounds, and he wanted to do it in like it was like 2 months, and he wasn't like a super big guy.
Okay.
But he was big. He was still a little bit of chub, and the trainer or whatever was telling him like, I got this like 4-month program or whatever. It was like almost 4 or 5 months program where we can do this much slower, blah blah blah. And he was like, well, no, I want to pay for this amount of time. Like, can you do it or can you not? And the guy basically wouldn't budge because he was trying to get him so that he would have to pay more for a long period of time.
Yeah, I not to talk crap about personal trainers, of course, but yeah, they're mostly trying to get you locked into a long contract.
That makes sense. That sucks too, dude. I've always wanted to like. I always think it's interesting. I'd love to do that, like to get a personal trainer, but like I wouldn't. Like I want to go in and just be like, yo, I'm gonna buy. Don't fuck me over.
Right.
Like like you're gonna get someone who's gonna do this for a long time.
Yeah.
Don't fuck me over. Like just care about me getting my goals. And like I don't know. I wish like they could do something to like change that culture, because that's what I've heard that. That's why I wanted to ask you about it.
They're like car salesmen.
A little bit.
Just remember this phrase, like whether it be cars or fitness or whatever, anything in your life. Just remember this phrase: is that the best you can do?
Is that the best
you
can do?
Use that phrase when it's like when there's an opportunity to, makes everything better. It's the best you can do.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's the question. You're gonna get a yes or a no.
Don't ask me that. That's what this.
Is that the best you can do?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense actually. I'm probably gonna be in the market for a new car in a few years. I'm trying to keep this one as long as I can until it blows up, basically.
Right.
As long as I don't die. I can't afford one right now. Especially, did you get your stimulus check yet?
No, I did not yet.
I didn't either, dude. What the fuck, bro?
I'm not too worried about it.
I'm not spending a lot of money right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not doing anything, so.
Yeah, I haven't even filled up my gas tank since the quarantine. That's like 2 months almost.
Wow, you've been really quarantined.
I literally don't go, like, because I stay at McKenna's, which is just down the road, like literally a minute away. And so I drive from there to here on Mondays.
Dang.
And then we've gone grocery shopping a few times.
Right.
But like, so I haven't had to do anything with that.
Nice.
Ty, do you have any other questions for us?
Nah, man. If I could just say like one more thing to the camera that I kind of forgot about at first.
Do it. Absolutely. Plug it.
Don't do smelling salts.
What are smelling salts? Wait, what is?
Have you heard about that? Like
I
in
have
fitness, they're getting a lot of popularity. Kids will take smelling salts, and they're also popular with like NFL players too. And
is that the shit that, like pre-workout, like almost like
kinda,
it jacks you the fuck up?
They kind of use it the same way, yeah. But I tried one once just because I didn't even try one. I saw one laying on the ground. I picked it up and smelled it. It's kind of disgusting.
It's
but
savage way to experiment.
Burns. First of all, I don't know how anyone could enjoy it. It just, I hate shit going in my nose regardless. But oh man, it feels like chlorine and bleach and tear gas is just going up in your face. I don't know, but kids will just bust it out of their pocket. They snap it in half or something, and it looks like they're doing drugs for a second. They spike it down, and then they go do their lift.
Who was dude?
It's horrible.
Wait, somebody.
Kyle,
I'm not.
Frommer, I think. Or Poco.
Was it Frommer or Poco?
It was
They
Frommer
tried
or
it.
Poco, dude. I swear to God.
I thought it was
could've
that. I
swore
swear,
saw it.
like, and I'm not trying. I love both of them, so I'm not trying to be a dick or call you guys out right now. But I'm pretty sure you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If you see this, pretty sure I saw one of those guys do that for a PR or something on Instagram. Because they gotta do it for the gram. Got to get the PR for the gram.
Yeah, of course.
And I saw literally they were like did it and then fucking and I was like, did he just do a line? And
that's what it looks like.
That's what, dude. Like, how do you how do people get away with doing that in the gym? And if someone like, if I was doing shit, if I'm hitting the bench press and I see some go for their fucking PR on the squat rack and I just
it is distracting.
Snort a line,
just be down there.
fucking die because I'm fucking looking at this dude snort lines of cocaine before he fucking That's fucking terrifying, dude.
Don't do cocaine either.
Don't do
drugs. Don't do drugs.
Dude, dude, fucking what? Okay, before I don't want to end it yet because I actually want to know what's like the scariest fucking gym fail you've seen in the when you've been there. Because there's tons online, but what's the scariest thing you've seen in person?
The scariest thing I've seen in person wasn't it didn't even result in an injury or anything. But there was this one time where I was like a sophomore in high school, and we were like lifting with these brand new freshmen that had just come in. And it was like one of those they used to call it learn to lift at Wilmot. And there was this kid taking weight. It was like a squat rack, and there was probably three or four plates on each side. And I turned around and stopped watching to talk to someone for a second, and someone had taken like all the weight off one side, and the bar flips over the rack and just like there was this kid on they used to have a seated shoulder press machine. It was like white, and the rack was right in front of it, so the bar flipped and like landed right between his thighs, like that much farther, and it would have destroyed his nuts.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was really scary. If it would have hit someone in the head, could have cracked his skull.
Dude,
open.
yeah, absolutely. That shit's terrifying.
Yeah, that was scary.
I dropped a plate on just one plate on my toe from like a couple feet in the air. Literally, it was like a few days again, because I guess that was the last time I was in the gym. Cause I think I had legs like the last day before the gym closed, and I was just getting the squat rack off, and I'm like, cause I always go in the morning, so I'm like half asleep, cause it's like the first exercise I did, and like I'm kind of sweating now, like I'm kind of feeling it, but I'm still just a little groggy, and I just fucking missed the thing, just drop it straight on my toe, and I was just fucking pissed, dude. And there's only like a couple of old people in there at that time of day, so I'm just sitting there like trying not to freak all of them out. So I'm just like. Oh fuck, dude. But I remember Wyatt Heckle like broke his toe during Summer Shock. Yeah.
Really?
I think it was.
Oh, that sucks.
Someone. Yeah, because somebody took. It was the same thing. Somebody took. There was I think 2 plates and then some change on each side, and someone cleared the one side.
Oh, and it flipped.
And it fell right on his toe.
Oh.
And I thought he broke his. I think because Watson was pissed that he was training for like pole vaulting or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I remember we all had to do like abs and shit after that because they were pissed. And I was like, all right. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but okay, this will be my last thing that I ask you then. What is the cringiest thing that you see people post about with fitness? Because there's a lot of cringe when it comes to fitness content.
There is.
Like it's part of the reason I don't post ever when I work out because I can't. Before you answer, I want to say what mine was, because mine, when people first got into quarantine, all these people who are like not out of shape, not people that are fat or by any means, like or super skinny. Like people that are in normal shape, respectable, like they work out every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing Instagram live workout, like people I know, people that you probably know, and giving fitness advice, and they barely they don't know why they're just they follow other people's plan, whatever. And I'm not claiming that I know a lot about fitness, but I'm also not going on Instagram trying to teach people how to do fitness. And I actually filmed a whole thing.
That's funny.
On my phone through Instagram. Like, it was a whole, like, satire, like, spoof thing. I didn't post it, but it was, like, me making up my own exercises of, like, I was like, we call this one the paralyzer. And I did, like, that, like, fucking handstand that everybody's doing up against the wall or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, no, here's what you want to do. You actually don't want to use your hands at all. You want to move your hands so that all the pressure, and I like let all the pressure go on my fucking neck, and I was like, you want to really feel it in your spine.
You want to feel the compression.
You want to feel your spinal cords, like, it was fucked up. And I made up all these exercises. This one where I got this like mini trampoline out and dropped this weight, and I was like, you got to catch it on the way back, and it was awful. But it was making fun of these people because it's fucking, to me, I think like that's so dangerous for these people that don't understand fitness to just be like, yeah, do what I do.
Right.
Because I'm kind of in shape. And it's like, dude, someone who's not in shape is going to see that and fucking die.
Right, yeah.
Not necessarily die, but hurt themselves,
Yeah,
you know?
true.
And, like, that shit's not cool to me. But what's the cringiest thing you've seen?
The cringy... I mean,
or that people do.
Nothing's worse than the classic video of someone squatting a PR and they're just, like, not going nearly down far enough.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing jeans in the gym.
Oh my god.
It's just not right.
Dude, you know what pisses me off? I know guys, especially when I worked out in Janesville, maybe it's because there was more people, because it's a bigger city, but there would be dudes that, like, I would be trying to do fucking triceps on there was only one, it's a nice gym, but there's only one dip machine. Pissed me off because every Thursday, there'd be this fucking dude who I had on Snapchat. He would post about his workout every fucking day on Snapchat. And he would sit every day. He would, like, sit back in the dip machine and be on his phone for, like, a half hour and do whatever bench press and then leave.
It's terrible,
and
too.
I'd be like, dude, I'm just trying to fucking do my I just got 3 sets of dips to do and then I can leave. Like, can you just move? And, like, I can't stand when people only post about it because that's...
Yeah.
And it's like they're already, like, somebody who's already big...
You could walk in the gym, take a picture, like, pick up a weight, pick up a dumbbell, take a picture. I saw it on a story, but he instantly walked out. Yeah. Literally 30 seconds after. I saw it on a story, he said getting gains. So
dude,
man.
That is fun.
Dudes do the same shit with basketball. They, like, post a picture of their Nikes with the ball and like, the hoop in the background. And they're like,
inside.
they're like, hoop sesh. And, like, they literally shot free throws or played 21 with their friend who's also ass.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes and they went inside. They didn't get any better or do anything. And it's like...
That's funny.
Can't stand shit like that, dude.
Yeah, no.
It's fucking... Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. All right. Anything else for us, Ty?
Nah.
That's it. Anything. He said his piece.
Thanks for having me, yo.
Dude, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
We're gonna be doing some again where I will be in touch.
All right.
But thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging in there through a little bit of technical difficulties. We're gonna be figuring out what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna be back to the regular 2-camera setup from now on. That is, I'm saying that right now as a promise. Hopefully I can keep that promise. And yeah, we're staying 6 feet away from people. We're only having people in who've been quarantining. So don't worry about my health. I'm fine. And if I'm not fine, then I'll lie about it and you won't hear it from me after I'm dead. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. This is episode 43 of the Detox Podcast. I will see you next week. Peace.